It wasn't always that way. In the late 1800s, it could take more than a month for a letter to travel from the United States to China. It took that long for a ship to make the journey. Today, we can send a message that will be received in seconds. That's great, isn't it? Or is it? When it comes to mission, instant communication can be a blessing, giving us new ways to reach out and share the gospel. But it can be a problem, particularly in areas where sharing the gospel is illegal or unwelcome. Stories posted online can be seen by anyone, including those opposed to the mission of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. These people can quickly stir up trouble, inform authorities, and shut down our work. We thank God for the wonderful stories of His leading in these regions of the world, and we all love to hear these stories. Yet we have a responsibility not to cause undue problems for Adventist workers and believers on the ground. A simple story made public has the power to put people's lives in danger and stall mission work. That's why we're putting a veil over these stories. When you see a mission story or video labeled Veiled Country or Veiled City, it's because it comes from a place where details are sensitive. This veil will hide the real country or city or real names of people. But we will share as much of the story as possible while protecting people's lives and the church's mission. According to a Pew Research Center study, in 2019, government restrictions on religion reached their highest point since 2007. These restrictions include new laws impacting religious workers and activities, religious communication, and even funds supporting Christian mission work. So for now, veiled mission stories will let us see part, but not all of the picture. We will see that God is still working in people's lives despite opposition, oppression, and even persecution. Of course, we never know which stories and pictures will be posted on the internet, but we are intentional about how much we share. Our stories shouldn't keep people from hearing the gospel. We don't want to be the reason someone is hurt or even killed. We have faith that God will protect His people, but we have our own responsibility too. So when you see Veiled Country or Veiled City, please understand the reason. And say a special prayer for the people who are working on the front lines in these challenging mission areas, where a stray message or an overheard conversation can lead to beatings, arrest, or even death. Someday the veil will be lifted. Someday we will meet the people behind the veil, and perhaps we will be able to say, "I heard your story. I couldn't see you and I didn't know your name, but I prayed for you." Thank you for your support of mission around the world, especially in veiled countries.
I see, there you go. I see a lot of acrobats going on upstairs. Good morning. Good morning, saints. Happy Sabbath. I'm Sandra Cook Anderson, the clerk for the Princeton Seventh-day Adventist Church, and here are your announcements for the day. Love is in the air, but so is COVID and flu. Please wear your mask. I know there are good reasons not to, but there are masks out in the foyer, and we're just asking that you please put them on unless you have a good reason not to. I really would encourage you. Again, the masks are not necessarily, unless you're wearing a KN95, the masks are for not for you, but for to reduce the exposure to other people. We do have vulnerable people in our congregation, so we do appreciate if you would wear a mask. And again, I know there are good reasons not to. Contact information. We have lots of ways to get a hold of the church. Just remember Princeton SDA Church, and that's going to get you into our App Store website and into our app. Our Facebook, our website, and our YouTube. There is, on YouTube, we have the live health stream. So if you want somebody to come join you for the service, you can go on to live stream on YouTube. But just remember Princeton SDA Church, and it will get you onto your social media platform. We also have now the phone, which does have an answer machine, and it goes to an elder so that it will be responded to. So if someone needs to call urgently, we will get the phone call. So if that's the only way you can get a hold of us, you can call us and we will contact you. Prayer meeting, Wednesday, 7:30. Zoom link is on our website. It's very easy. It's up in the writing. It just says, prayer meeting. You just have to touch the link, and then you're on to the prayer meeting. That's the heart of the church, and it really is at 7:30. Come join us for prayer meeting. Our interim pastor is Stephen Lee. He has been called to be the secretary for the conference, and that is a full-time position. So he will be our interim pastor to the end of the year. So we will be in prayer for a new pastor. We are sorry to see him go, but we think that he will do great things at the conference level. So today, who we have preaching is our elder Anthony Irugu, and we're not doing the Serpentine prophecy today. That has been delayed. So if you're expecting that, it's not happening today, but our elder will be preaching today. Our Sabbath, our Serpentine prophecy has been delayed to the 12th and then the 19th. There will be two of them. So one during divine service and one in the afternoon with lunch in between. So this is the one, and you're going to hear some more about it after announcements, that we really want you to bring people with you. It's a very interesting series, and it's the Voice of Prophecy, and Brother Boonstra is doing that. He's just fabulous. So I think it will be a good series to bring people to, if you know. All right. Because of that, we will be having the lunch that we're supposed to have today is canceled, but our next potluck will be on November 12th with the Serpentine prophecy in between the two presentations. And then we will be resuming our Bible study with Brother Anthony in December. Is that correct? Okay, go make sure I got the thumbs up. I just assumed that was going to happen. And then our offering today is for our local church budget, so please be generous. Okay, it's going to stay right here in our church, and you'll hear a little bit more about that in a minute. We also have our Children's Sabbath coming up, December 3rd. The precious young ones will be doing their Sabbath school. They'll be doing divine service, and that's our sister Nicola, and she said that if you have any questions, you can give her a call. But our Children's Sabbath is on December 3rd. All right, and accessibility. This is an important subject for a lot of people who aren't here. They can't get into the church. There's too many stairs, and having just had to use my cane all this time, I can understand it. You can't get up those stairs. It hurts. And people are on wheelchairs.